What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday, and welcome back to the Thursday Night Football Breakdown. I am Matt Kowalis, and in week one of the NFL season, we're coming off a 3-3 week where we went 2-1 in the Thursday Night Football Breakdown with the Detroit Lions and Kansas City Chiefs, and 1-2 in the Sunday NFL Best Bets video. Again, 3-3 on the week. It's week one of the NFL season, just getting our toes wet. And I have a great feeling that week two is going to be a huge week for everyone. Going forward, this video is going to be spread pick, player prop, anytime touchdown score. I want to try and make these 5 minutes or less. So let's get it going right away. Thursday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings traveling on the road to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, this is a +7 spread for the Minnesota Vikings. The total is 49 points, and where the money is sitting, 37% on the Minnesota Vikings, 63% on the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's easy to understand why. You take a look at week one. Minnesota Vikings lost at home 20-17 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who a lot of people were expecting to be less than par. And as for the Philadelphia Eagles, they won 25-20 in Foxborough Stadium against the New England Patriots. With that being said, no team looked crazy good, but I think a lot of people are looking back to last year, week two, Monday Night Football. These two teams faced off again in prime time, and the Philadelphia Eagles won that matchup 24-7. The Minnesota Vikings team looked terrible. They couldn't move the ball at all against Philadelphia, but these are also two different teams in comparison to, last year to now. In that matchup, the Minnesota Vikings and Philadelphia Eagles were both undefeated. Now the Vikings are coming off a loss where they definitely felt like they should have won, and it's tough to see the Minnesota Vikings coming in and just laying down in this matchup and not giving great effort here. A lot of the time, effort is what keeps these games close, and when it's a 7-point spread, it leaves that back door open. If they're up 10, if they're up 14, whatever that may be. If you like the 6.5 better with Philadelphia, I can understand that because I do expect the Eagles to win this matchup. But the fact that all the money is going on Philadelphia and the spread is coming down, we have reverse line movement here. It makes me think that the books also like the Minnesota Vikings. So again, this is not the most confident pick. It's probably my least confident of the three going into this matchup. But just want to point that out because I am on the Minnesota Vikings +7 here. A desperate team is a dangerous team. This is a team that still has guys like Justin Jefferson. They got Jordan Addison now, KJ Osborne, TJ Hawkinson. We'll see what Alexander Madison can do. Really don't expect him to do much in terms of rushing the football against this Eagles team. Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. The fact that a team that went to the Super Bowl got Jalen Carter, man, that's tough. And this team has a really, really, really good defensive front four and offensive front four. I mean, they're going to be a tough team as usual, no doubt. I'm just putting my faith in the fact that the Minnesota Vikings lost a brutal game at home against a team that was expected to be bad. And when that happens, you expect a response out of a team, especially guys like Justin Jefferson. So for me, I do expect this Philadelphia Eagles team to win in this matchup, but I'm with the Vikings +7 here. Moving on, though, the player prop that we are going to be looking at today is actually going to be that of the Philadelphia Eagles. And in week one, this is a player who had 0 catches for 0 yards, and that is Dallas Goedert over 46.5 yards coming into this matchup. So again, he had 0 catches, 0 yards in week one, but last year he had 55 receptions in 12 games, averaging 58.5 yards per game. So his per game average is well higher than where his prop line is here. And then also last year when going against the Minnesota Vikings, he had 5 receptions for 82 yards, smashing this number. The Minnesota Vikings struggle in terms of their linebacking core. And when you have players like Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, who are absolute burners, they can stretch the field. What does that leave open? The underneath, and that is where Dallas Goedert thrives. And as we know, Jalen Hurts loves Dallas Goedert. It's one of his top targets, his check down guy. It's his safety blanket, all the above. And when you have 0 catches for 0 yards, you're trying to feed that guy early and often. I wouldn't be surprised if the first drive he has 1 or 2 catches. So for me, I really like the look of this play. It's at 46.5. That's a great line as well. So Dallas Goedert over 46.5 yards here. And then lastly, our touchdown score for this game, we are going to be rolling with, again, the Philadelphia Eagles. I know I went with the Minnesota Vikings and the +7, but it's tough not to love some of these Eagles props. And the prop that I'm rolling with today is Jalen Hurts anytime TD. It's -115. And one thing last week when watching this Philadelphia Eagles team against the New England Patriots, who the hell is their running back? You know, they had Kenneth Gainwell leading the charge last week. He rushed 14 times for 54 yards. Both DeAndre Swift and Boston Scott had 1 carry for 3 yards. And if you look at those running backs, Gainwell, Swift, and Boston Scott, who is getting those goal line carries? I don't think it's going to be any of them. So once again, I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. They're going to be running that QB power. They're going to be running that QB sneak that they made famous across the NFL, where everyone stacks behind Jalen Hurts and just pushes them into the end zone. We could very well see that again here because this Minnesota Vikings defensive line is not all that great. Last year, Jalen Hurts against this Minnesota Vikings team had 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not much has changed on either side. The Philadelphia Eagles still have one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL and one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. And they are definitely going to be able to control that front four in this spot. So for me, I think it's Jalen Hurts again getting that anytime touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings. So again, guys, I am Matt Kowalis. If you want additional information, check me out at SportsMemo or WagerTalk or X's and Bros Radio with my boy Anthony Bellino on every single Monday. But I'm actually going to be on tomorrow as well if you're interested, breaking down Thursday Night Football, what we just did. And of course, our very own Detroit Lions. Huge week 2 coming up. So check it out. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, the picks one more time. Vikings +7. Dallas Goedert over 46.5, and Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown score -115. Again, I'm Matt Kowalis. Find me at Moneyline Matt 8. Give me a follow. I'm throwing out same game parlays for big time games like Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and for the Sunday slate. Appreciate it as always, guys. I am out. Peace out, y'all.